Hello everyone, welcome back to Book Reviews with Emma. Today I'm here with my special guest, Buddy. He has the cone of shame on because he bites his feet too much. But today, I want to talk about some tea. Yes, you may be wondering what tea there is about books. Well, it's tea for me because I'm going to talk about my favorite universe, the Shadowhunters universe, and what I don't like about it, which is the Mortal Instruments. Can I just start off by saying, yes, the Mortal Instruments series is the beginning. Now, I was really excited because I went on a trip to New York for the first time last year, and I really wanted to see some of the sights and spots that have been in the Mortal Instruments. I went to Central Park, and it was not like I imagined it at all, but it was definitely worth it, and it was so gorgeous, and now I feel like I really understand what life is like for these Shadowhunters, and honestly, New York's just pretty awesome. Recommend going to all the cities that you want to see. Next up is London and LA. I need to check out those institutes. So why do I love the first 3 books so much, and why I think you would, is this is in a time period just like ours, except a little bit in the past now, since they were released in 2008, I believe. And it's in New York. It's the young adult, usual, like, novel for fantasy. There's this girl, she's an artist, thinks she's living a normal life, but everything changes when she meets a Shadowhunter named Jace. Now, this kind of ties in to all of the series, but I really enjoy that we have immortals that live through all of the series. Seeing them grow up and change with the times, Magnus, Tessa, Raphael, we get to see how they grow, and we get to see how they change with the world that we live in now, and how they were in the past that we can now become more familiar with. Something I can commend Cassie on greatly is her diversity of characters. So there are a lot of people of color, Asian, African American, Native American, and then Shadowhunters, they envelop everyone, every religion, every culture, which that's a good thing that we get to see because Shadowhunters are all around the world. Shadowhunters believe in every church, and there's weapons stored in all of them. And then also, there's a lot of LGBTQ people involved, not really in the Mortal Instruments series as much. Yes, there is, but like not as much as the others. But the characters really grow with you through every book. And that is another great thing that Cassie does with her writing, as you get really connected to these characters and you're hoping for them. You know, you get to see the end game and everything. You get to see who gets married to who. You get to see whose kids get with whose kids. You get to see who stays alive and who is mourning the loss of their loved ones, which is really powerful because I feel like a lot of series we don't get that much closure. But since Cassie has prequels of prequels, and sequels, we really get to see how the family tree plays out within all of the books. I also think compared to the other series, we have a good array of main characters, but we don't get in depth with Alec and Izzy as much as we do with the other books. So I would like more into their lives. Of course, Alec and Magnus, they have a spin-off series, and Isabel has a series, kind of. Isabel never really gets enough love, especially in the series. I think she needs a bit more expanded on. Her significant other does get a bit more, just not Isabel, which we need more of that badass character vibe. Clare and Jace are the main characters, and mostly Clary, honestly. It focuses really on them. It's more Jace towards the end of the series, which gets a little bit confusing because we haven't gotten used to his point of view and why he thinks what, but then it just kind of drastically changes to this because he changes. Now I'm gonna go into a little bit of why this is not my favorite series and the Shadowhunters universe. Usually I prefer longer series, like 6 books That's what the Mortal Instruments is what I would love, and I love even longer than that. But I feel like the conflicts draw on for too long, because the first 3 books, there's this kind of conflict with one person, and if these people are alive, and oh no, they are. But then the next 3 books, we still have the same villain, and it just grows a bit much. Plus, it also introduces a whole faction of villains that it just gets really confusing and really messy. I think Cassie does a good job of building the world in the first 3 books, but once a couple new places are introduced in the last 3, it is not as well built, and I cannot imagine it as well. Like, in my head, I don't see the world as much, which is a pretty big thing, because when I read, I'm usually really in depth. It kind of feels like I'm there, and it's hard to imagine you being there in the last 3 books, but it is in the first 3. If you like shorter books, the first 3 are for you. If you like longer books, the last 2 definitely are much, much bigger. The 4th one is really small, which, again, is really confusing. Like, it's different than all the other books, and it's a little bit strange to me. I don't know why. I don't understand what its meaning is in the series. But first 3, last 2, pretty good. You can read City of Bones over and over and over again and never get tired of it. Pick up new things all the time. City of Ashes, City of Glass, highly recommend. If you want to dive into the Shadowhunter series, I would recommend reading the Infernal Devices first, then Ghosts of the Shadow Market, then Chain of Gold, then I would read the Mortal Instruments, and you can throw in Magnus's book and the Red Scrolls of Magic in there towards the end, and then you get to read the Dark Artifice series, which is one of my favorites. So I'm gonna give each book a score in the series. This new thing I'm trying. Tell me if you enjoy it, tell me if you don't. But here we go. I award City of Bones. I award City of Ashes. I award City of Glass. I award City of Fallen Angels. I award City of Heavenly Fire. And I award the last one, City of Lost Souls. Alright. Tell me if you agree, disagree, have some comments, questions. But there we go. I wrapped up some reasons why you should or shouldn't choose to pick up the Mortal Instruments, and my thoughts on the series as a whole. Thank you for watching. See ya!